Hi again, folks. In this video, I want to go over some of the things that are happening with the channel behind the scenes that you guys haven't seen. That was kind of brought up today in one of the notes. Coming up. The shout out goes to Mike Phelan. I was reading through, and the thing is, guys, I never answer my comments with my cell phone. Not happening. It's impossible the way my mind works. But I was going through the notes quick just to see how things were going with the channel, and I seen Mike, he had left a note talking about, to some extent, about the channel. Well, you asking basically, you'd be curious to know how many people, okay, were from our era in the 70s, right? And I'm going to let you see it because I never thought of it, but maybe it'd be important for you to kind of catch this and others to catch this so you kind of see where our community's at age-wise, okay? And I'm going to talk about a few other things in a sec, but check this out. All right, there it is. All right, so look, you'll see 13 to 17, I have 0.4% of the subscribers. 18 to 24 years old, 10.7%. And you look at the even stretch here. 25 to 34, 20.3. 35 to 44, 18.5, 45 to 54, 23.4. So the highest hit is there between 45 and 54 years old on the channel. And the next one, 55 to 64 is 19.9% and 65 and over, 7%. So if you look at it, 10.7, 20.3, 18.5, 23.4, 19.9, 7.0. Of course, on the top, 0.4, but that's okay also. You know, that's, I mean, kids are on TikTok, let's face it, you know. So that's where that's at, just so you know. I figured you'd want to see it. So, Mike, the answer to that is about 27% of the channel, of the regulars on the channel, most likely got to live through the French Connection days. About, say, a quarter. You know, rounded off of 25%. It's not bad. To be honest, I was really impressed when you got me going and looking at this, because last time I checked this, the channel was, God, it was mostly like 30-year-olds. Mostly at the time, there was like a real, and then there was a gap, and then there was the 50-year-olds. You know what I mean? But now if you look, it's spread out. You know, as the channel's grown, so has, you know, the 18 to 24, for example. Almost 20% of the channels only 18 years old to 24 years old, which is really impressive, you know. These are the fans that we have to see. Mike, I believe, is probably the most important because they didn't really get to live any good times, you know. And that's the sad reality is some of the fans here, I look at the, you know, like about 40, I'd say about 30, 33, 30, about 32%. I'm looking at the numbers here. I got my computer open. About 32%, 31, say 31% are fans that really only got to see the 06, 07. You know, I guess it wouldn't be fair to say that. They were kids when they got to see Hasek. They still got to see Hasek. So for that 11%, they're really important. They really are, because these kids didn't really get a fighting chance as a fan, you know, and that's kind of sad because, as Mike can tell you, we lived some great times. I mean, there was some fun times. I know there's no Stanley Cup in our history. Folks, that's the only thing that's missing. And yes, it's the biggest thing. It is. But this team is the type of team, okay, historically, when I run into somebody and they say, well, what year did you guys win the cup again? This is what I'll get in Montreal from people. You know, not people that are like computer geeks like us that are know our history, but some people that just follow hockey, because there's a lot of those too. So the Sabres never won a cup, and they're like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure." You know, like I'm pretty sure. So those 11%, it's important that we keep them here like prisoners till things get better. You know, and they've got to have their fighting chance too to have some fun times. Come on, you know. Says a lot about the passion for the hockey in Buffalo when you got 11% of my subscriber list is basically young folks that really never got to see any glory days. Not really. If they did, they were like 7, 6 years old. It's not the same, you know? Look, I got to see the Sabres in the final when I was, 12, I believe? Was I 12 turning 13? Yeah, I was 12. So, you know, little did I know as a kid back then how special that time was, you know what I mean? But it was in an era where expansion teams started coming to the forefront in the 70s, and this is what happened. And then, of course, we went through our rebuild in the 80s, which looked so promising and crashed and burned, you know? And then the 90s came in where we had an average team, but the greatest goalie ever in hockey. It just seemed like we could never time things right, you know? And then Lindy took the team, we rebuilt that team into the 06-07 squads. I believe the only guy left from the 99 team was McKee. So we completely rebuilt the team. And again, we went deep in the playoffs, you know? And this time, injuries ended us. It's like we just couldn't cop a break. And that's been, I could look decade to decade and tell you where I believe we were unlucky. Just unlucky in so many facets, you know? But yeah, it was kind of cool. I looked at this. So Mike, again, the shout out, I'm glad you got me to just check this, you know? And I noticed my watch hours are over 8,000. That's something I knew already, but I went to check and it was like, I think it was 83 or 82 or something. I'd have to check again. I looked real quick. I was more interested in this, you know? And when I see like different age groups on the channel, for me, that means the channel's, it's getting healthy, folks. This channel's getting healthy. Because let's face it, we got the young'uns here. They're as frustrated as anybody, and they're usually the most mouthy. Sorry, kids, but young folks, it is, you know? And they've been all cool on this channel. They've been all cool. You know, they've supported the channel. They come, they watch, they put their input. They say the players they like. I mean, it's all right, you know? I had somebody the other day tell me Paul Kariya is one of the greatest 5 all time, but didn't have Bobby Orr there. Of course, I could make a big argument for that, but it's fine because that's what that person lived, you know? And I respect the fact when somebody puts what they've lived, not what they think is, you know, when you put the players you've lived, I get that. You have their backs, you know, you have the backs of your heroes back then, and that's totally cool. It's totally cool, you know? But Bobby Orr takes precedence over, over Paul Kariya. Sorry, buddy. And, it's just like that though, this channel now, and I have always the same regulars as I was talking about in my subscriber video. So I want to just mention this today, okay? This is really something, a number for you folks to see, to understand how old the community is, and it's pretty cool. It's all chopped evenly down, you know? I mean, it's really surprised me. I really did. I expected to see 2 like this and little ones, and I seen all this even things. I was like, geez, really, you know? Good to know. I'm blabbing, so I'm gonna drop it there. And I'm gonna try and make one more video. I'm not too sure what about yet, but I'm gonna take a breather and try to come back at you with one more. If not, that's it for tonight. And I'll try instead of making another video to jump on all my comments I gotta reply to. All right, so I will see you folks in the next video. Have a good one.